Hey, this is Adam and Celine. We're here talking today about questions we get asked about trusted house sitters. We have done more than 30 house sits around the world in how many countries? 7 or 8 countries, something like
Yeah.
that. So here are some of the most common questions we get asked about using Trusted House Sitters platform. So the first one, Celine, I have to say that of all the questions that we get asked, this one probably we get asked the most. Do we get paid to house sit?
We do not get paid to house it, but we choose to house it because we have comfortable accommodation for our family. It's a lot more space for us than a hotel, and it just makes sense to have the comfort of people's homes when we're traveling. So it's worth it to house it without even being paid.
Yes, we pay a membership to Trusted House Sitters to be part of the platform, and the homeowner pays a membership to Trusted House Sitter to be part of the platform, but they don't pay us to watch their house or watch their pet, and we don't pay them for accommodations. So between the house sitter and the homeowners, no money changes hands.
Mhm. It's just smoother that way, I think, because there's no expectation for us to, name a price and things like that. It just would complicate things a bit or just make it a little more awkward. I think that what we do for them is so helpful because the homeowner doesn't have to pay to take their pet somewhere, and for us, we don't have to pay to have accommodation. So it's really a win-win.
Yeah, and just stuff like, compared to an Airbnb, well, obviously the price is a big thing, but like we get to somebody's kitchen, it's full of stock, right? They have things like spices, and you don't have to go buy, cooking oil if you're only there for a week. They probably have some already.
Yeah, it's funny. We spent a week in an Airbnb when we first arrived here in Australia, and we haven't done an Airbnb in quite a long time because of all the houses we've done. And it did feel different for sure, showing up and just having such a minimal amount of things available to us for the week. And then it just felt so much more comfortable when we got settled up here in our house. We just really, like Adam said, we had a stocked kitchen and we have more comfort and all the home amenities, and it just makes travel so much more comfortable.
So you mentioned you're house sitting right now in Australia. So a lot of times people ask, this is question number two, what is the process for finding a listing? So how does that work? How do we find a listing? How does somebody select us to come house sit?
We downloaded the Trusted House Sitters app, and on the app, you're able to just look for a country that you want to travel to, and it's really easy in the search. You can narrow it down with filters, and you can just find a whole list of everybody who's traveling everywhere from last minute trips up to months and months ahead of time. So we've been able to search an area of the world that we want to visit, and however far out we want to look months in advance. We found this house sit, and from there we just click on the listings and review them a bit and see which ones could work for our family. We are a family of five, so we do look in the search specifically for family friendly house sits, and then we just go from there. We click on the links and we can apply for the ones that we like really simply with the app. We just type a simple message to the people and invite them to have a video chat with us.
Yeah, so they're going to look through all the people who've applied. So, we're going to look for things like, are there enough bedrooms for all of us? Are the pets family friendly? Are they friendly with kids? All that kind of stuff. And then we're going to apply, and then the homeowner is going to look through all the applications and decide who they want to have a video chat with to make their decision. Ultimately, it's their decision who they want in their home, and then they offer the house sit to us, and we get to accept. So we're not obligated to anything just because we apply.
Mhm. Yeah, and we usually spend some time applying for multiple houses because there's obviously no guarantee which one they're gonna which house that we're actually gonna get. So we will look at a bunch and we'll start applying around the time frame of our travels, and then usually we hear back from some of them right away, and they let us know they've already found somebody else, or we weren't who they were looking for specifically, or their animal might not be that comfortable with the crowd of the coverage like us. But there are many that are open to having families come. We really had note of having a family of five be able to stay in people's homes. So we just wait for them to get back to us, and it usually, like I said, it doesn't take very long.
There we go. Okay, question number three. Question number three, is there insurance with trusted housers? So what happens if you're walking a dog and they get bit or you break something in the house?
Yeah, we looked into that. We didn't really consider that at first, when we first joined Trusted House Sitters, but the more we became a part of the group and started house sitting, you realize the importance of some of that, and you can actually upgrade your membership to different levels depending on what type of insurance or coverage you want to have. I think the basic one still has some level of insurance to them, so that's why we use Trusted House Sitters, really such a great platform that will ensure that all of that is taken care of, not just us going out on our own and finding people randomly. We're covered.
Yeah, better than a Facebook group where you say like, "Hey, I'm going," somebody from who knows where says, "I'm going away for 2 weeks," and in the Facebook group you go, "I'll come visit," and then you book plane tickets without any guarantee. Trusted House Sitters is verifying things like the property, the identity of the person, and the identity of the house sitter. Plus a whole bunch of reviews, so you can see previous people who have sat there or reviews for house sitters. So all of our previous house sit owners, homeowners, have the option to leave us a review.
Yeah, we've really had great success with trusted house sitters, and it was only just recently that we had our first house sit cancellation. We'd never run into that before, and this was right at the beginning of our trip flying into Australia, but we found out a few weeks ahead of time to start to sort out how we handle that situation.
Brings us to question number 4. What happens if a homeowner cancels their house sit after you've booked flights already? So in our case, what happened was the dog got sick and needed medical attention. The homeowner decided not to travel.
Yeah, she just sent us a message and let us know the situation, and we, of course, we were right away sorry to hear about all of that, but also scrambling a bit because we already had our flight booked to come out here, and we were counting on that accommodation for the first bit of time here in Australia. We were also supposed to have a car, and so we didn't feel very stressed out about it though because we knew that our membership level also offered us the opportunity to reach out to counseling house sitters to get help with accommodation in this situation.
Yeah, so a lot of times, so there are 3 membership levels. You got the basic, and then the middle one has like some more insurance, and then the premier or the premium membership, I should say, at least currently, check on Trusted House Sitter before you register. But the premium membership will help you with some accommodation in the case of a cancellation. There are some requirements. It has to be within 2 weeks of when you were planning to go. You have to have non-refundable flights already booked, and you have to be within
20 kilometers.
20 kilometers, which is about 15 miles of the original house that we're in.
Yeah, so we reached out to the homeowner who canceled the house that it's awesome. We asked her if she could help us know the area of her house so that we could book our accommodation within that radius of the area so that trusted house sitters would accommodate us and refund our accommodation. And it really worked out. It was really fast and easy, and we found a beautiful place to stay for the week. And actually, because we were so close to the lady, and our kids were really looking forward to meeting all of her animals because she has a little farm. So we actually connected with her and went and met her in person anyway and saw her dog recovering and everything. It was really great. It's fun to feel like we've taught the community through trusted house sitters with house sitting for people.
Question number 5 that we get most often: do all of your house sits have pets, or do some of your house sits or some of the house sits just for the property?
We've seen very few listings not include animals. The majority of people who use trusted house sitters are looking for people to come and care for their pets and their animals. So it could be anywhere from just a cat in a little apartment to taking care of a mini farm. Right now, they're taking care of a horse and 2 dogs, and we have a few fish. So it's it's different everywhere we go, but count on it taking care of some animals should be a pet lover.
Yeah, and Trusted House Sitters, I think the last time we checked, so we wrote a blog post recently about Trusted House Sitters, and I did some research. There are about 10,000 listings worldwide of pet sitting opportunities, and 6 of them have no pets. So that puts it into context a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it works out really well for us because we love animals, and it feels more homey to be greeted by a dog when you walk in the door every day, and our kids really love it, and we like teaching them the responsibility and care of different kinds of animals. It's been a really great experience.
Yeah, and from a practical standpoint, for the homeowner, they are likely to be fine with leaving just the property for a week or two if they go on vacation, but obviously you can't do that with a pet. So from a practical sense, that's why a lot of the listings have pets.
Yeah. I think for us, we choose to take care of any kinds of animals, and we love that we get an opportunity to have new experiences. There's people that have accepted us when we had no experience with their type of pet, and it's just been such a great learning experience for us and a fun way to travel.
Okay, bonus question, Celine. What's the most interesting pet we've had?
Um, I would say a really unique one has been the tortoise that we took care of in Scotland because we only have one opportunity to do that so far. And this tortoise was like older than our oldest son, so it was kind of funny to see this little tortoise, and that was a really simple pet character.
My Mine was probably the bison. And again, all we had to do is look out the front window and make sure they were all in the field and none of them escaped. We
That's
didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's true. That was an easy one. Although we had cats there too, to keep us some more company since the bison weren't really much company to us.
Okay, bonus question. This is the real bonus question. A lot of people ask us, can you actually get house sitting for families, or are most people not wanting to have kids?
Trusted house sitters, like I said earlier, you can narrow your search right down and look for family friendly house sits. And yes, of course, you can travel and pet sit with families. I think a lot of families or a lot of people are actually looking for families because they may have more than one pet and just having more people around and the energy of kids and everything is just more exciting for the animal. I mean, that's how it's been in our case, really. Like the dogs that we've cared for just love having our kids around and maybe the homeowners has grandchildren that are usually coming around and the animals are used to being around kids. So people are really looking for families that are going to come in and use their space and keep their animals company.
Yeah, that's not to say some people, have a pet that's not great with kids, or they have a small space like a one-bedroom apartment. So obviously they're not asking you to show up with kids. But I would say that a lot of listings, even the ones that aren't necessarily marked family friendly, so in Trusted Housesitters, they said you can search by listings that are marked family friendly. But a lot of people will say it's not family friendly because I don't want toddlers in my house. But the practicality of us having older kids gives us the option to still apply for those and have a conversation with them.
Yeah, don't be intimidated by the house that listings that just say we should, they're just looking for one person. We just weed those ones out, and there are some that aren't even labeled as family friendly that we can scroll through the photos and read the description, and when it looks like the house is a family home or they have multiple bedrooms, then we just apply and see if they're interested in having a family. Some people I think, don't even consider having a family because they think only singles or couples do this kind of thing. And it's funny because we do get responses back from some homeowners and they say, oh, wow, we didn't even consider a full family doing this. So, yeah, it opens that door up for us to bring a whole family to host it.
There you are. 5 questions we get asked about house sitting, plus 2 bonuses. And if you have a question about house sitting, ask it in the comments, and we are happy to answer that in a future video, or come hang out with us on Instagram. Send us a DM. Pretty active over there.
Thanks for joining us. See you soon.
Oh, also, there's a link in the bottom for a Trusted Housesitters discount code. If you're ready to sign up, use our discount code. We'll get a little bit of a thank you. It doesn't cost you anything. Save you 25% on your first year membership.